The day I decided to free my mind from the limits of forced thoughts was a turning point in my life, one that required courage and a willingness to face judgment from those I had once looked up to. It was the day I chose to listen to the silent voice within, the one that had long been muted by the noise of others' expectations. I remember standing in my kitchen, the scent of fresh coffee mingling with the crisp morning air. As I sipped my drink, I thought about the weight of conformity that had settled on my shoulders. From a young age, I had been taught to follow the rules, to excel in school, to earn a degree, to secure a stable job. Society had laid out a path, and I had dutifully walked it. But in doing so, I felt as though I was living a life scripted by others, as if I were a character in a play rather than the author of my own story. I recalled Ralph Waldo Emerson's words, "Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist." This struck me like a bolt of lightning. I had been conforming for so long, drowning out my own thoughts in favor of pleasing authority figures. It was time to let go of their judgments and embrace the unique voice within me. Yet, this decision did not come without inner turmoil. In that moment, I envisioned myself as a bird, perched on the edge of a nest, peering out into the vast unknown. The fear of the fall loomed large. What would happen if I let go? Would I be judged for my choices? Would the superiors I had once admired see my leap as foolishness? These questions swirled around in my mind, but they could no longer hold me captive. I remembered my mentor's warnings, his cautious advice echoing in my ears. "Don't go against the grain," he had said. "You'll only invite criticism." But I realized that living under the constant shadow of judgment meant surrendering my authenticity. And as Emerson suggested, nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of our own mind. I wanted to cultivate that integrity, even if it meant facing the harsh glare of disapproval from those around me. With a deep breath, I made my decision. I would embrace the silent voice, even if it meant feeling vulnerable. I began to explore my passions and interests, diving into creative pursuits that had long been stifled. Writing, painting, and even public speaking became avenues for self-expression, each a declaration of my independence. But every step forward came with its own set of conflicts. The more I followed my inner voice, the more I felt the weight of scrutiny from those who believed I was straying from the path. Criticism came swiftly. Friends questioned my choices, while family members expressed concern. "Why would you risk stability for something so uncertain?" Their words felt strong. But with each judgment I faced, I learned to stand firm in my commitment to self-discovery. I began to understand that this journey was not just about freedom. It was about embracing my own truth, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. The journey was not without its challenges, but I found solace in knowing that my silent voice had become a guiding force. I was no longer simply existing, I was creating a life filled with meaning and purpose. I learned to speak my truth, to share my ideas without fear of judgment, and in doing so, I inspired others to do the same. When I finally let go of the need for external validation, I felt a profound sense of liberation. The power I had sought for so long was already within me, waiting to be unleashed. Embracing that power meant accepting the duty to follow my silent voice, even when it led me into uncharted territory. I was no longer just a product of my environment, I was a creator of my destiny. The choice to follow my inner voice transformed my life. I realized that judgment from superiors could not define my worth, only I could do that. And as I stood proudly in my own skin, I understood that the path to authenticity was not a solitary journey, but a collective call to courage, a reminder that we must all embrace our unique voices, for they are what truly make us human. On that note, we'd love to hear about your experiences. Do you actually listen to your inner voice, or are you controlled by external factors?